everybody. Welcome back. Man, it's been a while. 3 weeks. Welcome back to Cocktail Time with the D. Man, I told you guys I was going to take a week off, and I took 3 because it's been too nice out. But we're back. The weather's gotten cold, so it makes it easy for me to stay in the garage on a Friday night. But it's awesome to see you guys back. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. As you may see, as has been the norm here lately, there is an empty chair next to me. So we got some surprises coming up in the show. I'm excited to be back with you guys. It's been a busy 3 weeks, man. We're getting ready for Hartville season. I think I mentioned to you guys that we bought a lot out there, and so we will be out there. And we've been working on all that, but I know you guys have been out getting out into the fresh air with all the nice weather. But welcome back. It's a cold night, so I hope you cuddle up on the couch, stick us on your big Electrotron, and plug us in, because we've got about 45 to 50 minutes of amazing music for you tonight with a special guest coming up. So again, welcome. For those of you who are new, Cocktail Time with the D. It's Friday night, and Friday nights are made for vinyl. You guys know that because I tell you all the time. But as I was going through the stacks, as it were, looking for stuff to put out at the Hartville show, I came across this. It's not just Cocktail Time with the D. It's Cocktail Hour. Who knew there were so many cocktail albums out there? So that's awesome. We got a new cocktail album to show each week. But we're going to do Cocktail Hour. And I wanted to start off the show tonight by saying, normally I speed through and forget some of the key elements of the show because I get so excited. But this week I want to take a minute to tell you what I'm drinking. My guest and I are drinking, and it is the Widow Jane, aged 10 years. This is a bourbon I had not tried until tonight. So my guest and I were practicing for the show, as we do, for hours and hours and hours. Actually, it was like 5 minutes before we decided what bottle we were going to drink. But I hadn't had this before. It's really good, actually. It's really smooth, really nice. It's made from limestone, pure limestone water, I guess, that comes out of New York. But it is a Kentucky bourbon. We have started tasting. As you can see, we're about halfway through already. So it's a great sipper. I really highly recommend it. And I am smoking tonight a punch. So I don't know if I've done a punch on the show before, but it's unlike its name. It does not pack punch. It is mild, because you know I like my milds. So let's get to it, man. We got a lot of great music tonight. I'm super excited. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention. So I was thinking about, this was sitting on my heart this week. I was thinking, should I mention this on the show? And I'm going to. So if you don't like it, too bad. But I started watching a new show that I got turned on to by a friend of mine, and you know who you are, Jimmy. And it's called The Chosen, and it is amazing. So I know there's a lot of my friends are. You know, I have a mixed group of friends and watchers, religious and not religious. But regardless of your background or your feelings on it, there's an amazing show that's been put out, and it was all crowdfunded, so it's not touched by Hollywood at all. And it's called The Chosen. And normally this is a music show, but I wanted to take a minute to say, if you watch The Chosen and you don't like it, I'll give you a free album, because you can hold me to that. It is an amazing, amazing, amazing depiction of Jesus Christ's life on earth. It's fantastic. I do not advocate, and I haven't advocated for any TV or movies on this on Cocktail Time with the D, but I'm advocating for this. I feel that it's my responsibility to advocate for it, because it is probably one of the finest programs I've ever watched on TV. It's emotionally affected my wife and I throughout the week as we've watched it. We can't wait. I guess we're way behind. Season 2 is already coming out like now. But if you want to catch out a really cool show, look up online. You can find it. It's called The Chosen. It's probably the best religious program I've ever watched in my life. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. But on to the music. Our first track tonight. So what's tonight's? What are we doing tonight? What's the genre? So we've done smooth 70s, we've done 80s, we've done lives. Tonight we're gonna do inspired songs. So the songs tonight have been inspired. So many of you guys realize that, like, when you get turned on to music, it's usually because of somebody you know, right? Like your buddy's like, hey, check out this track, man, it's hot, you know? And so our guest tonight is like the penultimate version of that. Him and I constantly, I gave away a hymn. It's a hymn, sorry. But we constantly trade information throughout the week and for the last 20 plus years about music. He's a bit of a music snob like me, with a really deep understanding of music, old and new. And so we trade music ideas back and forth. But it got me thinking, as he was going to be the guest, about the fact that most of the great music that I listen to, somebody turned me on to. I'm just not that smart to find the stuff on my own. So all the tracks tonight were turned on by somebody. The first track that I'm going to play for you, the first nugget that we're going to dip into is a song that my dad turned me on to. You guys know my dad was a huge influence on my musical tastes. And so this song, man, I remember hearing this song 100 times when I was young. And every time I heard it, it was like something was like reaching down and grabbing me. I mean, it was like amazing the way this song like got me up, picked me up, and affected me. And it was probably one of the first tunes that really kind of, I was like, man, music is something I want to be involved in or be around or have as a part of my life forever. And it was based on this tune. So you know this tune. It's kind of a nugget, but you haven't heard it in a while. So enjoy it. This is a jam. I love that song. I love that song. I know there are people who are like, that song's silly, dude. But it's amazing. I mean, the vocals, the acapella on it is just amazing. Anyway, that's the Tokens. If there's you guys who don't know that, that's the Tokens. That version is one of the original versions. It's not the original version, but it was originally released before this, I think. But this is a 1970s version of it from the Tokens, who wrote that song. And it's off of Both Sides Now. So pick that up. Both Sides Now. The Tokens got some strange tunes, man. They're a cool band. I was listening through this week. Pick up the Tokens, man. I mean, I know they're an old school band, and most of everybody knows them for that track. But they've got some other jams out there. So that's how we start the show. The Lion Sleeps Tonight by the Tokens. What? It's a good jam, man. That's a nugget. And by the way, so I got to show you this. This isn't part of the funny albums, but I got to show you this. So I'm going through 45s, because I'm dipping into some 45s now in our collection. We've got like 10,000 45s. But as I'm going through the collection in the basement, I come across this. This is awesome. Look, it's a golden nugget. It's a nugget. By the way, if it says that it's a nugget on there, then it's a nugget. If it actually says it's a nugget, it's a nugget. And this is a nugget. I wasn't going to play this, but I'm going to play it real quick because it says it's a nugget. This is a nugget, though. It is a nugget. I swear to you, I was not going to play this, but I'm going to play it real quick just so you can hear it. This is awesome. This is a golden nugget. '45s are rough. If you guys aren't familiar with '45s. That is a golden nugget. They were right. It's a golden nugget. The album says it's a nugget. The Nightcrawlers, Little Black Egg. Check out your 45s, man. 45s are super cool. Like, if you just like one song off an album, there's a lot of like great hits that are out there that are on 45s. So I've got boxes of 45s. So there will be more 45s on the show, and they will be golden nuggets. So check that out. Next album. Let me make sure and switch so when I play it, it's not going. We're going to go back to 33 mode. The next album is an amazing album, and there's a lot of you who know the artist, but you may not be familiar so much with this particular album that he put out, which, by the way, just happens to be my favorite album of his. A lot of you are going to say, man, that ain't your favorite album. His best album is Graceland. And now a lot of you are saying, I know who he's talking about. It's Paul Simon. Well, Paul Simon, this is, in fact, his greatest album. Says me. A lot of people like Graceland, a lot of people like his older stuff, but this album is amazing, man. He works with a lot of different cultural sounds, a lot of drums. It's amazing. If you haven't heard this, Rhythm of the Saints by Paul Simon, this is one of my all-time favorite albums. I listened to this a lot in growing up in college and right after college, that kind of period of time. The album was released in 1990, but Rhythm of the Saints, check it out. This first track I'm going to play for you is The Bomb, and it's a nugget. You guys got to check that out, man. This album is so full of butter. It's buttery. It's slippery. It's buttery. This is a slippery, butter-soaked album. It is amazing. I can't tell you, I tell you I enjoy a lot of albums. This album is an amazing album. If you're saying to yourself, man, Dee's always telling us to pick up albums. I ain't got that much money to pick up all these albums all the time. Well, pick this one up. This is the one you should pick up. Rhythm of the Saints, Paul Simon, circa 1990. Paul Simon's just put out so much good stuff. I mean, there's a guy, he's a lot like Peter Gabriel and guys like that who just, for their entire careers, have just put out gold. I mean, Paul Simon, there's really not a bad Paul Simon song, I don't think. So pick that up. That's a good track. All right, we're moving on through. 14 minutes. We're doing okay. Our guest is anxiously. He mentioned earlier. He goes, so this is the green room. I was like, he's just sitting over here. That's the green room. It's just basically a little stool. He's got a little place for a cigar and his drink. He's in the green room. He is. He's in the green room. We started early tonight. I apologize, folks. And I haven't done this in 3 weeks. I feel a little bit nervous, actually. It's kind of strange. I don't like the feeling. I want to be comfortable with my viewing audience. But here in the studio tonight, I feel a little nervous. I haven't done this in a while. I feel like I'm kind of talking to myself. I hope that's not true. I hope I'm not just talking to myself. I hope there's people watching. Anyway, tonight's third track is from an artist who I got turned on to. I guess I would say I got turned on to this artist from my mom. So we mentioned my dad. I got to mention my mom. You guys are like, you're always getting turned on from music from your parents. We're getting tired of hearing about it. Well, my parents had great taste in music. This is probably, she might disagree. I think my mom's favorite's probably Willie Nelson, but I think this is her second favorite. And I tend to agree with her. This artist has put out a lot of great music and has a really interesting history. If you dig back into her lineage, she actually, in the beginning, she played with the Eagles. Many members of the Eagles, she played with them. So some of you may already know who it is, but then she forged ahead with her solo career and did quite a few hits on her own. And she wasn't actually part of some of the Eagles. She didn't play with the Eagles. She played with the Eagles. She was associated with those guys when they were getting started, and they kind of went her own way. But we're going to listen to some Linda Ronstadt. And my mom now is jumping out of the couch like, finally, something I can listen to. Welcome to the show, Linda. I like me some Linda Ronstadt, man. And let's give a shout out, Linda. Not just an amazing singer, but a beautiful lady. So that is an amazing track by Linda. But we've made our way to the part of the show that some of you love and some of you hate. So depending on which side of that coin you're on, you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. First, I wanted to point out one other thing since we just played my mom's track. So I was going through the 45s, and those of you who know our family history will think this is funny. This 45 is called Please Don't Talk to the Lifeguard. So those of you who know my mom met my dad. He was a lifeguard at Dunkenside. And so good thing she didn't listen to this 45 or I might not have been born. See, music, it affects your life. So thanks, Mom, for talking to the lifeguard, unlike this 45 says that you're not supposed to do. All right. So, funny album covers. We don't have many because my guest is anxiously awaiting in the wings. So, let's just jump right into them. I had them in order a minute ago. All right, look, this one doesn't seem very funny, right? It's kind of like, what's so funny about that? That doesn't seem super funny. But then again, so if you're a rock and roll man, this is the second album I've found, if you've watched all the shows, that has this. I'm not sure why guys feel like they need to do this, but guys, stop. Like, what are you doing? Just cut it out. The thing that you're doing right now, cut it out. And first off, we know you're standing up. You're not even in a bed. You're standing up. You're not, you got the sheet, you don't have any clothes on. Just cut it out. Just cut it out. Cut it out. When you look back after you make this album years later, yeah, we made this album. It's embarrassing to hand people this album. Just stop doing that. All right. Second, this one's awesome. This one's awesome. Jean Shepard. You may know Jean Shepard. She does not seem like a happy lady. Jean Shepard seems like not a very happy person, but she has a very happy message for you. Many Happy Hangovers by Jean Shepard. Thanks, Jean. Hey, you know what, Jean? This one's for you. Look how angry she is. And look at that hair. That's awesome. I mean, there's stuff in there for sure. You could reach in there. That's like a grab bag of things in there. There's all kinds of stuff in there. All right, thanks, Gene. Not last. Second to last. Look at these folks. You guys know who the Manhattan Transfer is, right? It was kind of seemed a little kind of easy listening, a little strange to me, kind of the Manhattan Transfer. Not really something, not my bag, as it were. I mean, some of you may like the Manhattan Transfer. But this doesn't seem very unusual, and I apologize. This is a family show, but what's happening? What are you doing? First off, if you're wearing a pink blazer and pink slacks with a pink hat, there's so much going on here. I'm not even gonna make a comment. I'm just gonna leave this out there. This makes me uncomfortable in a lot of different ways, but Manhattan Transfer, you're out of your element. Stop it. Just cut it out. All right, last, Billy Swan. His name's Billy Swan, so you know what Billy Swan thought would be really creative to do? Yeah, he did it. There's a swan in a bathtub, and he's just standing there. But look, it's such a bad idea, even the swan doesn't want to do this photo shoot. It's like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Billy Swan, shame on you. All right. Thank you. Silly album covers. It is the time of the show where I get to introduce not only one of my best friends in the world, but somebody who I've shared music with for years and years and years and years and years, and who regularly comes over to the studio, #garage.com, and drinks with me. He is a bourbon fan as well as a music fan. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you, you guys know him as the Zoob man, Zoobtastic, Andrew Schillinger. Welcome to the show.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, Zoob, I know what you're going to say. I feel like I know what you're going to say. You're going to look into that camera right there, and you're going to be like, I'm not in the camera. That's not the camera. It's the one on the left. So you are in the shot. But welcome to the show, man.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been
Let's do this battle.
It's been a while. We've been talking about having Zoob on the show. Obviously, we had Eric, who's a musical guy. Eventually, we'll have Johnny, who's a musical guy. You guys know Russ is one of my biggest music trade-off fans. But all my friends have one thing in common. They all love music. And so I wanted to have Zub on for a long time. But I said to myself, Zub, if I have you on the show, I'm going to back up a little bit. If I have you on the show, we got to do something special, right? So
right.
we said, as we do, so when Zub comes over, it's a bit of a competition anyway. We don't ever talk about it, but the idea is that Zub shows up with tunes that he wants to blow my mind. He wants to lather me in butter with his tunes. He wants to give me the butteriest hot tunes. And so when I listen to him, I'm like, damn, man, Zub brought up some good tunes tonight. My tunes were lame, man. So throughout the week, I'll work on tunes that I want to show him, nuggets. So actually, you could say that Cocktail Time with the D was born out of the great nugget trade. The great nugget trade of the pandemic, where Zub and I would regularly get together and trade nuggets. And so I thought what we could do tonight, and this is true, I promise you folks, this is true. I knew Zub's tracks because I had to go out and find some of them, but he does not know my tracks. And so,
I'm excited.
So we're going to have a battle royale. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on Cocktail Time with the D, we're going to battle it out. Zub versus the D, the Zub versus the D, and we are going to battle tracks. And so we've both picked 3 tracks that we are going to battle with. And now keep in mind, these tracks were meant to be nuggets, not regularly heard on the radio. So if those of you guys think, that's not the best song he could have played, well, it's a nugget. And if you haven't watched the show before, this is all about finding nuggets, unearthing the nuggets. And
right.
So Zub brought his 3 nuggets, I brought my 3 nuggets, and so we shall battle. And you're thinking to yourself, well, D, how do we know who wins? Because it ain't a fight unless you know who wins. And so that's where you, the studio audience, get to play along with us tonight. That's right. Finally, we're involving the studio audience. Everybody said, you should go live so we can send you in messages and make fun of you and tell you your belly's sticking out and all this other stuff. And I said, no, I don't want that much interaction. By the way, for those of you who notice, I did cut my beard. And if we did have live, they'd be like, you look like shit. You should have never cut your beard. But anyway, so you guys are going to get involved. We're going to play these tracks, and then based just on the next 6 songs, 3 from Zub and 3 from myself, you're going to vote. And you're going to say who had the best nuggets. Overall, it's an overall vote. Okay, so all you have to do is when I post this, write the D or the Zub, okay? And that's spelled Z-O-O-B, okay? So don't pander to the audience. See, he's pandering to the audience. He's like, vote for me, vote for me. Okay, so here we go. The first track. Okay, so the first track is your track, Zub, right? Yes, I have a sheet. I do have a sheet. Okay, so the Spinitron, as you know, the Magic Spinitron is able to play all kinds of media, and so we're going to dip into some non-vinyl media because some of these songs either can't be found on vinyl or one of them can't be found on vinyl. The other one is like $1,000 on vinyl. So I love Zub, but I didn't spend $1,000. So here we go. First track up is Zub's track. Are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? Zub's first track. Here we go. Make sure I got the set right. I knew it was thumbs, so I have a little bit of advantage. Only because my reactions will show that I know. This is butter, brother. When you said you were going to pick this, I was like, you bastard. He's going to jump ahead. He will jump ahead early in this competition. Sadly.
Get that fire, sir.
Yes.
Homesick, but it's alright. Like Lucy is on my mind. She's on my mind. We got some singers in here. Sick, but it's alright. Like Lucy is on my mind.
Man.
She's on my mind.
I don't know.
I swear it's 10,000 degrees in the shade.
Welcome to the show.
Lord, I must know how much I love you. Every mosquito, every rattlesnake, every canebrake, everything. Every alligator, every black water swamp, every freshwater spring, everything. But all we need is one more goddamn developer down a hole now. All we need is one more Mickey Mouse, another golf course, another country club, another gated community.
Hold on.
Lord, I need love. I need a lot more love that is going away. Well, my grandmother good. Yeah, now.
Man.
Powerful.
Come on,
Powerful.
dude. You can't come. That's a devastating first blow. You know, I was always taught if you're gonna get in a fight, hit the guy first and hit him hard. And that's what just happened.
That's a
Wham!
minute and a half of 11 and a half minutes of love.
That is amazing. So for those of you guys who are not familiar with that, well, I'll let Zoop tell you. I'm sorry.
JJ Grey,
Yeah.
look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Live show, 2016. They filmed this. What is there? 10 tracks on there? There's
I think more than that, like 12 tracks. It's a Lock Loose is the name of the song that was just played. But JJ Greg, I mean, if you like your blues rock mix, if you're one of those Stevie Ray Vaughan guys or something, and I know a lot of you out there are, butter.
he plays the harmonica.
This should just be a piece
So
of
it's
bread.
Oh.
Because this is just butter on
Stop it.
here. But it's a little unfair. I feel like all right, that's okay.
He's down.
That's all right. I'm not down.
He's
I'm not
raising
down.
his hand.
I'm not
The
down.
rest got him.
You know what I'm breaking out to combat Zoob's butter? I'm breaking out a track that okay, so those of you who know, I have one tattoo, and I got this tattoo because of this guy. And I got my tattoo, and for those of you who don't know this, I got my tattoo when I was a sophomore in high school. Which I don't think you could do anymore. But I got it at Kenmore Tattoos, which I think is closed now. I walked in there, and the guy's like, "Are you 18?" I was like, "Yeah, mister, I'm 18."
Yeah, my voice is cracking.
And he goes,
It's fine.
"Do you have an idea?" I said, "I forgot it at home." And he gave me a big tattoo on my arm. But my tattoo is of Joe Satriani's Surfing with an Alien. And then the Silver Surfer movie came out like 20 years later, and it was like, "Oh, you must really like that movie." I was like, "No, it's from Surfing with an Alien by Joe Satriani." But the next song I'm going to play is off of Joe Satriani's Flying in the Blue Dream. There's that. You can see that. Those of you guys who aren't familiar with Joe Satriani, I've got a comeback punch for Zoop here. He does not know this track and has not heard it. I don't want to speak for you.
Just let's play it.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
So this is a little hidden butter from 1989. Let's turn the Spinatronic to auxiliary, and let's hit play on the. By the way, again, for those of you kids who don't know, this is a cassette. Okay.
I've been out walking for hours. I got something on my mind. How did we get here? Where are we going?
Maybe.
And why is life so
Another nice little word.
I read the stories, see the photographs, fall and bread made. I believe
That's pretty good.
That's my joke.
And that's a long
no
tune,
joke.
too. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Joe Satriani's really known as a guitarist. And I got turned on to him. Russ used to dabble in the guitar and used to play around with a lot of guitar tracks. And this guy was considered one of the great Wayne Shepherd and the other guys. He was considered one of the great young guitarists, especially electric guitarists out there. And then he put out this track in the middle of this album, which is a lot of instrumental stuff. And I was like, what? I said, this guy can sing, man. This is great. So, all right. I don't know where we're at. I'm going to leave it to the studio audience. I don't want to influence anybody, but I hope that a little bit of redemption there. Okay, so the next song is, and I've got to skip ahead here, make sure I don't screw this up for you, Zoom. I don't want to try to influence the audience by screwing up your track, because then that's all I'll hear later as we finish this bottle. You played my song bad. All right, so it was track 3. Yeah. Okay. So this is Zoom's second pick. Okay, so prepare yourselves. 1, 2, 3. The Spinatron is ready to go. Pop. All right. And this one.
once my lover, now my friend.
Dirty dog.
What a cruel thing to pretend.
Smoky. Sultry.
What a cunning way to condescend. Once my lover, but now my friend. Oh, you creep up like the cloud, and you set my soul at ease. Then you love abound, and you bring me to my knees. Oh, it's evil, babe, the way you let your grace enrapture me. Well, you know I'd be the same.
I know it's brand new. I just bought this, but it's too loud.
Never let that dirty game recapture me. You make me a shadow boxer, baby. I wanna be ready for what you do. Well, I've been swinging around because I don't know when you're gonna make your move.
That's good stuff. Man, come on. Killing me, yeah.
1996.
Yeah. I remember when that's Fiona Apple, by the way. That's off the title album. Fiona Apple, obviously, has had her ups and downs on a
Right.
personal level, but her music's amazing.
Yeah. She's back this year with a new album.
Yeah.
That was from 96.
Awesome.
Everybody knows Criminal, I hope.
Yeah. I remember the video. I just remember a bunch of people running around in their underwear. I was like,
Right.
those people don't look like they're having a good time at all. Fiona Apple, I know you guys think you know what she's about, but actually check out some of her deep tracks. She's a lot like Sinead for me in
Right.
that, you think you know who Sinead O'Connor is, and then you listen to her B-sides and you're like, what? This is
So that's gonna happen.
This is
That's
amazing.
gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
Sometime during
sure.
one of these.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so how do I combat that? So we're talking about the 90s, right? So I thought, well, if he's going to play Fiona Apple from the 90s, I'm going to pull out my 90s nugget. And this might not be a nugget to some of you guys, but to some of you guys it is. There's a lot of folks out there who think they know who this band is. They know a lot of the tracks that you hear on the radio all the time. But they're these guys put out some music over the years that didn't get much radio play, frankly, and isn't considered by some of their best stuff. But to me, this is the stuff that I most enjoy. So.
It's funny that I wasn't a huge fan of this band.
Yeah.
But I've come to love them because Matt Riddle and Rick Floyd and
Yeah.
amazing stuff.
Yeah,
Amazing,
this is one of Jan's favorites. It's always been one of my favorites, the band.
Right.
But this is off of the album The Division Bell. Some of you guys aren't real familiar with this album, but there are some sweet nuggets on this album. And I think this period of time, actually, Momentary Lapse of Reason and The Division Bells, when they really hit stride. I know that sounds terrible for purists because Roger Waters wasn't part of the band at this time, but the music speaks for itself.
Beyond the horizon of the place we lived when we were young, in a world of magnets and miracles, our thoughts strayed constantly and without boundary. The ring of the division bell had begun.
I hope so.
Along and on down the causeway, they still be there by the cut. There was a ragged band that followed in our footsteps, running before time took our dreams away, leaving the myriad small creatures trying to tie us to the ground,
Myriad of small trees.
to a life consumed by slow decay. The grass was greener, the light was brighter, with friends around me. The nights of wonder,
Oh, dude, that's
My
good
goodness.
stuff. Division Bell. So that song is called High Hopes. It's a 1994 release, originally released in the UK, but 1994 release off of the Division Bell album. And like I said, there's a lot of you who probably have heard more off of the Momentary Lapse of Reason album when Floyd reformed after the departure of Roger Waters after the Final Cut, which, by the way, is my favorite Pink Floyd album. Again, the worst reviewed Pink Floyd album of all, the Final Cut.
Right.
But the Division Bell is a great album, man. I mean, you guys, there's so many buttery jams on here. That right there, High Hopes, is just a stone cold nugget. It's
I don't think you've talked much about how much we like the lyrics of the song.
Oh.
How much that affects how great the song is.
yeah, no, it's a great point. I haven't. And I think Zub and I are very similar in that regard.
Right.
I think when we listen to music, the harmonies are important, obviously, and the music's important and how that music makes you feel. But at the end of the day, if there's a lot of great songs out there that I don't like because the lyrics are dog shit. But I
They're
think,
fun, but
I think as you dip into some of the artists that you notice that I keep coming back to, Paul Simon, James Taylor, Pink Floyd, it's because these guys, you could feel the music through the lyrics, you know what I mean? Like, I could just read that album and be like, this is the greatest album. Like, you haven't heard it yet. I'm like, that doesn't matter.
Just read it.
That's a great point. It's a great point. That was not staged. It's a great point.
Yeah.
I think that most of the bands, it's why I'm a singer-songwriter guy from a fanship standpoint. I mean, Dan Fogelberg, James Taylor, Paul Simon, all those guys, even Phil Collins in later years, all those guys, singers-songwriters, the music is really secondary.
You
I
gotta
think.
get past the music and just take a listen or
Yeah.
read along.
No, I agree 100%.
As you do that.
I couldn't agree more. So Zoom's last pick of the night. Oh man, I can't believe I had this album for him. Damn it! I had this album, The Stacks. When he asked me, I almost said, "No, I don't have that one."
Oh, you know.
He was like,
oh,
"Hey,
yeah, you do.
hey, do you have this?" I was like, "I don't have that."
No, yeah, you do.
I practiced that in the mirror. I was like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't have that." But he's heard me play it. Damn it! So we are going to play Zoob's last track, which is an amazing song. Track
And
3.
everybody knows.
Yeah, go ahead. Set it up.
Everybody knows Steelers Wheel.
Yeah.
Stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Same singer. But he's just not all about.
Well, and I think people know Baker Street too.
Baker Street, right.
Street's probably his most
Absolutely.
popular song as an independent artist. Jerry Rafferty, somebody who a lot of you folks may not know because of his name, but you'll know his music. Didn't have all the commercial success that some other folks have had.
Right.
But this is a great album. It's a 1978 release. There's a couple great songs. And Baker Street's on this album, City to City. But this is Jerry Rafferty, City to City. Zoob's going to play this is his last song to give me the knockout punch. But keep in mind, I've played 100 jams on this show up to now. I can't replay jams. He caught me late in the show.
Right.
If he would have started out on day one, I would have slayed him. All right, but here's his pick. Some of you might not be familiar with this song.
Great
It's
song.
a great song. It's so good. It's just gonna spread over him like butter. All of you folks, just lay down on your couch, take your clothes off, and just let the butter pour over you. I love this period of time. The sound that was prevalent in this period of time is fantastic. Kind of like it's hard to explain it. It's that 70s, it's that late 70s, yeah.
You know I need your love. You got that hold over me. Long as I got your love, you know that I'll never leave. When I wanted you to share my life, I had no doubt in my mind. And it's been you, woman, right down the line. I know how much I lean on you, only you can see the changes that have been true. I've left a mark on me. You've been as constant as a northern star, the brightest light that shines. It's been you, woman, right down the line. I just wanna say this is my way of telling you everything I could never say before. Yeah, this is my way of telling you that every day I'm loving you so much more, 'cause you believed in me
It operates it
through
up.
my darkest night.
No,
Put something better inside of me. You brought me into the light. Threw away all this crazy dream.
all right, you filthy animal. Filthy animal. Pulling Jerry Rafferty out. How dare you, sir? Sir, how dare you?
No apologies.
Awesome pick, Zoob. You're the man. You are the man. The Zoobtastic comes through with Right Down the Line. 1978 released by Jerry Rafferty off of City did I show
City
the album?
City?
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. There was one guy, I always say this, there's one guy, he literally was like, hey man, show us the album so we can go pick him up. I'm
So
like,
you just
you're right.
In the stacks, you're like, oh yeah, there it is.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
So City to City, Jerry Rafferty. It's a great album. On the back, he's flying. Sometimes he flies with his guitar because his music can get you high. But Jerry Rafferty, great pick. How do you combat that? Well, I'll tell you how you combat it, Zoom. I'm going to tell you how you combat it. Uh-oh. Let me get this cleaned up. You know a song's awesome when there's like a 6-minute intro, which I have to skip over, by the way, which makes it very difficult. All right. See if I can nail this. Come on, I've been pretty good on the Spinatron tonight. We're going to end up tonight with a training song, as you should. As you should. As you should. And for those who don't know, this is a very modern tune written a long time ago by a young man's experience with a young transgender woman, and that's my pick. Combat.
Way ahead of
She walked up to me and she asked me to dance. I asked her her name and in the background voice she said no. La 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 la.
That's a great song. That's a great version. For those of you guys who haven't heard that, that's On the Road. It's a 1980 release by the Kinks. The Kinks, man. For those of you guys who don't listen to the Kinks, what's the matter with you? Like, there's a lot of people who don't, like, you say the Kinks, like, yeah, no, I've heard of the Kinks. Like, do they have any good songs? What? The Kinks have a ton of good songs. Well, there's a man under my bed, and there's a little yellow man in my head. You know, come dancing. You know? I mean, the Kinks are amazing. If you're not listening to the Kinks, get your you-know-what together. The Kinks are amazing. The Kinks go back 40, 50 years, too, you know. So that is the end of our battle.
Wow.
We just battled. I feel like I'm sweaty. I'm slightly agitated. We're halfway into this bottle. My good friend Zoomtastic and I just battled out Battle Royale. The first battle on the show. There will be more. An amazing battle, man. I appreciate all your songage. I appreciate the thought you put into coming on the show.
Absolutely.
As always, sir, you are always a sounding board for me as I find new music, and I hope that you feel that way about me as we share jams and nuggets.
There's this musical oasis in the past year.
Yeah, that's right. So, Zoom
all
found
the
out about
records.
30,000 records and was like, sweet, fancy.
All the records.
Benjamin, he's like, so he's been over here a lot.
There's been, no live music, so
yeah.
we've got the records, which are live.
Yeah.
We've got Eric Morrow and John who are doing their thing.
Yeah.
Out in Stowe.
Yeah, that's right.
It's what I needed.
Keeping us alive.
Keeping
right?
us alive with
Music
some
keeps you alive.
Live music.
So I was gonna finish up because we're at 54 minutes, but I don't care. Come
You
back.
said
like-
an hour, right?
Come back. Yeah, that's
Cocktail
right.
hour.
That's right. This,
It's-
you know what?
it's gonna be perfect.
First off, I didn't say it. They told me. Then she said it. So it is the cocktail hour. It's been a long show. Thanks you guys for joining us. Thanks Zoop for coming over
Thank
and
you,
just
sir.
for always being such a good friend and being a musical confidant of mine. Hopefully many more years of live shows and whatnot. I already played a couple of your nuggets that you've turned me on to on the show, so if I don't always give you credit for those, many of the songs that you've heard aren't just in my own nugget. Many of the nuggets don't come from my own nugget, but so this is one of my nuggets, and this is a special track for a couple of you out here who just continue to insist. The one thing I love about Kiss fans, all of us, because I'm one of them, is that we are insistent.
They are rabid.
So we're going out on a note because when I go out on the show, I got to kick the guest out of here, and I got to dance for y'all. So this is not yet, Zoo. So this is, look at this album. Look how cool this is. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. So this is Kiss, the original Kiss release. I know I've played Kiss already on the show, so please don't remind me.
I'll be in the green room.
Zoom's going to the green room. Not the biggest Kiss fan, but I'm trying to turn him on to some of this old Kiss stuff, which is
1974, you said.
yeah, this is circa 1974, the original Kiss release. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with this album, probably my no, let me be careful. It's my top 3 Kiss albums. There's a lot of my favorite Kiss albums, but a lot of people think they know Kiss. You don't know Kiss. They have put out some amazing music over the years, and this is off their first self-titled release, Kiss. Hopefully, I hit the button. Oh, I did hit the button. It's meant to be. Excuse me.